Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today is August 1st, and that means that it is time to get started seeding heading vegetables. Now I know for those of us in the Southeast, talking about cool season crops in August sounds insane, but if you want to have broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage for Thanksgiving, you actually probably should have sown these a month ago. I am going to go ahead and get all of these trays seeded because I have got an awesome class scheduled for Saturday, October 4th, where everybody is going to make a grow bag filled with cool season veggies to take home and grow. And my aim is that my plants from my seed will be what the attendees get to use. So I'm going to go ahead and give you an up-close view of my process, so that hopefully you'll be inspired to follow my lead this weekend. All right, well, I'm just reusing trays. These are 50 cell trays. And I like the size. It's not so big, but the plants can actually get to a pretty decent size. And I filled it with Veggie mix from Soil Cube. And they are going to be having a sale at the end of the month. I'm just giving you guys fair warning. And I am just dibbling a hole into each cell, and then my aim will be to put 2 seeds into each hole, and I'm doing each tray as one type of plant. So I have 3 different types of broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and kohlrabi. So I'm just going to kind of systematically work my way down, and well, then I will show you the next steps. All right, now that all the seeds are sown, I'm just gonna come through and kind of tap each tray. And that way, I know that all the seed has good contact with the compost. And you might be wondering, why am I starting my seeds in compost and not potting soil? And the answer is simple. I don't like potting soil. I can't keep up with the watering needs of peat moss, and though coconut coir is a bit better, I still find that it dries out and needs a lot more fertilizer. So I like to start everything in Veggie mix from Soil Cube, literally from start to finish. So I use it as my seeding substrate, my container substrate, raised beds, and in-ground gardening. And this way, nothing goes through transplant shock because the substrate is the same all the way through every single growing stage. Now, one of the things about getting brassicas started right now in North Carolina outside, because of course my greenhouse is way too hot. I don't have any plants in there right now. I have to be really on top of keeping up with the cabbage worms. And really, now that we don't really get cold, the cabbage worms are active year round, which is not great. I'm not gonna lie. So there's no point in adding BT yet, because obviously everything just got seeded. It's gonna be about a week before anything germinates. But I do want to have a backup plan on top of my applying Bacillus thuringiensis, because I can't always be relied upon to get everything accomplished. And that's actually why I've got these trays staged here on these kind of fake picnic tables, because what I'm going to do is basically put them here. I'm going to use both layers. Go ahead and get it staged proper, get everything done. And now, so in addition to having BT on these once they start to grow, I'm also going to put Rime or frost cloth over them, and I'm going to secure it tightly, which is precisely why I have it here against this shed. And that is going to also help act as an insurance policy against those cabbage moths coming in and laying their eggs on the freshly germinated brassica seedlings. So obviously I need to tuck all this in, actually put it like under the trays so it's super secure. But this strategy actually works really well, and it doesn't really involve you having to do that much. So I'm experimenting with these here, and then I've got all the ones that the homeschool class did staged behind the greenhouse. So let me show you that. I love frost cloth. You can buy it really inexpensively online. Sometimes garden centers sell it. It's super practical in the winter when you have like a late frost or just like an extreme cold snap, but it's also really, really good for helping protect plants against insects. And so here I've got a couple more trays, and because I don't really need this out at this moment, I'm just gonna leave it here. But once they germinate, I will apply BT, and then I will cover everything with this. And from experience, this really does work. So hopefully that will inspire you to get outside and do some seed sowing this weekend, because at least here in North Carolina, we are getting a bit of a reprieve in the weather. We actually have highs in the low 80s and lows in the 60s. So temperatures that we haven't felt for months. I am super, super grateful, because honestly, this never-ending heat wave makes you really question what you're doing playing outside in the garden. So the fun thing with this experiment is really just going to be testing light. I think this is shadier, so it might be cooler, and that's what those plants are going to need, because traditionally August is not a very cool month in North Carolina, whereas this location on the east side of the shed gets considerably more sun longer. So it's easy enough for me to move the trays based off of their performance. So it'll be interesting to see if stuff in more shade does better or stuff in more sun does better. So I do hope that you will subscribe and plan to follow along in my August 1st brassica growing experiment. And as I mentioned, if you want to have things like broccoli and cauliflower for Thanksgiving time, the end of November, you do need to go ahead and get those seeds sown pretty quickly. I'm not doing leafy vegetables yet, and that's mostly because they grow so fast, and I tend to do those just direct seeded in the garden, and there's no way I can keep up with the insect control if I was to plant kale and spinach and mustard. We're just still way too early for the leafy vegetables, so you'll notice I've only done heading vegetables: broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kohlrabi. So that would be my general recommendation. Again, this is advice more for people living in the Southeast where we garden year round, and these cool season crops actually do overwinter very well, but they don't over summer. And that's probably one of the biggest challenges for people who are new to the region, because our season cycle is very, very different from gardening up in the north or northeast or Midwest. Well, as always, thanks so much for watching. Happy gardening, everybody.